for you to feel that you're advancing towards your goals. Well, this whole transits are advancing towards defining his goals. It's at the end of the transit cycle coming up to define his goals. His inner spirit is already at the new point. He can feel, he can sense the new beginning. You are the kind of person who plants ideas in the minds of others. You'll reach out and impress others subtly. You'll always be able to sense the new path that should be taken. As long as you're moving along this path, you'll feel relatively secure. Worries and problems will surface when you crystallize or stop growing. Do not look back or hold on to the past. Nurture the light within. Protect your own development. Do not throw your good ideas out to fools who will not appreciate them. Neither should you follow the dreams of others. Trust your own inner sense of direction. Whenever you can make the effort to be creative, you should. Do not try to explain the process. Just do it. Consistent effort will accumulate. Reach out. Rely on your instincts. Grow. Break out of old patterns. Move on. Move on. New beginnings always seem small against the vastness of life around you. Nonetheless, every journey starts with one small step. Try to find friends who will support and acknowledge your efforts. Always be cautious about what you say. Words can come back to haunt you. Always be trying to start something. Make certain that you take time to water the flowers and the plants in your garden of hopes and dreams. The end does not always justify the means, so make your daily life creative. Take time to smell the flowers along your path. You'll be able to draw encouragement and inspiration by listening to birds singing. Okay, so it's incredible because it's really aligning really positively with what we have to say about the transits going in. He's getting inner spiritual support, and he feels his inner thing coming. A lot depends on what's set up around him in relationships in his life as Saturn's coming up to make decisions about what he's got to do creatively. Now that creativity on the sun, it could be his. It could be tied up to, if he has kids, it could be tied up to kids in school or something they're doing. But it's still, he still has to work on his creativity as he's building up with this. So I really love these moon phases. They're great in your natal chart when you first start in, but when you're coming to progressions every couple of years, you get 2.5 years, every 3.5 years, you get a new moon phase. It's really insightful. It's really useful. And it starts a theme of how to begin with the progressed sun and begin with the progression. To bring the sun and moon, you're seeing where it's going. Okay, so here we have the yellow is the progressed sun, and the dots are the new moons and full moons. Black dots are the new moons. The big black dots were the eclipses, and the big gray dot is the eclipses. Then this is the first new moon that's not an eclipse, and he won't have any more eclipses as he goes along. So the first eclipse was in 1988, so that's when he's 9 years old, and that was at the same time when I was 9 years old. Saturn was on his IC at 9 years old. So something really profound happened. Maybe someone died. Something really profound happened to him at 9 years old, around 9 years old, that affected the first cycle. Now he's just come back a full cycle around, living all of that, come out in the world, see what he could do. It's caved in, it's built up, he's down, and he's just come past the IC and hit that point again. Second time around, a higher point on the spiral. And now is pushing forward around that, and Saturn's come along. So I'm stuck in Saturn cycle, and the Saturn's now coming up to hit the sun and going to go up above the horizon over the next 10 years, up to the midheaven. Well, his progressed sun has already gone across the descendant. Now the date of this, I don't have it here, just with the new moons and full moons. Okay, so but it was 2003. And so maybe around 2006, 7, the progressed sun hit the descendant, and then went above the horizon. It's 2017. He's studying astrology. He has a new moon. He's in Pakistan. He's studying astrology, and I don't know what else. Okay, but that's the new moon in the 7th house. It'd be hard not to have a relationship with that going on, or not have some profound thing around the relationship. Of course, that would depend on whether it's a relationship he wanted or something his parents wanted. But I think it's more about him, and he would run into, it could be a new beginning because he has someone close to him that's trusting him. Anyways, possibly, don't know. There's progressions, symbolic way. It's building up and he's starting a new wave. He doesn't have kids. he's seeing the new way open. If he has kids, he's still got to find a new way to get out and set these things up. And he needs to do that too, because even if he doesn't do that, he doesn't set the right example for his kids. So he has to do this just to get his confidence, to prove things, and to pass it on. So, but this new moon is strong. It's building up in its 15 years till it gets to the full moon. But between that time, it's building up. The Saturn's going up to his midheaven. So the people he aligns with, who he aligns with, doing things with others, teaming up, this is all built up to getting to progress sun, building up to his life. So relationships, trust, doing business, playing bands, being with these partnerships. It's all part of this. But the Saturn, his natal chart is about being performing. Seventh, it's the 5th house, and the Saturn goes around. How do you express your performance? Kids, having kids is part of that. If it comes in, then there's your 30-year cycle. Then you got to get back and you got to try and do as much as you can anyways during that, and it comes back to you at a certain time. Okay. So against this background, again, which is fairly moving in the same direction, moving out to be involved with others. So a relationship can include that, band could include that, all the challenges involved with that. Everything seems to be moving in that way, in that direction. Want to look at the Mercury, progress Mercury. We'll notice this progress Mercury starts in Pisces, moves up, went over to descendant, went retrograde, and I think I have a morning style. No, I don't. Okay, so I have to just use this one. It went over the, let's see if I can make this bigger. Yes, I need to, I'm squinting at it. Okay, so it was in 2004 that Mercury went retrograde. It went forward, went up. When it went over, let's see where it hit. Squared to Neptune in 19, oh, I can't see it, 1990, but it went retrograde in 2004. So in 2004, the retrograde. Then his mindset is going backwards. So it went forward all of like 2004. Then it started going backward. Went back over the descendant again, and it went retrograde in 2028. It will go direct in 2028. So then his mindset's going forward in 2028. By then, the Saturn's conjunct the Sun. It's going forward, and as Mercury turns around, there's a whole new focus. So it goes over the descendant, the relationship point, 3 times. You know, when he's young, and 90 would have been just 11. So I can't see if it's 90 or 98. Let's see if I can get it a little closer to see. I think it's 90. Okay, so this is his thinking that his son went into the 7th house. Other people are reacting to other people. In 2004, it goes retrograde. It's backing up. He's rethinking his life. It doesn't go back to beginning place. It just backs up, goes over the descendant again. But relationships, then it stays within a degree of that, and then goes direct in 2028. So this is the area he's in now, with the Mercury coming back to the descendant, retrograding, going forward around relationships. Then it's moving forward. 46, it gets back to the most forward movement. And from then on, it moves straight forward, no question. After that, building up like the sun up towards the midheaven. So the idea of, you can see the adding of the astrology and being able to counsel and advise, that 7th house, that's strongly reinforced. It could be tied to relationships, could be tied to advising people, and then just trust shared and increasing the depth as it's going up through the 8th house. With this retrograde period, there's going to be a big change of attitude in 2028 when the Mercury starts going direct again, inwardly. So you could say from 2004, he started rethinking. He was still doing things. He's rethinking, but he's added astrology during this period. He's going to go forward and be applying it and seeing it in a new light. And he gets to go over this idea of relationships, his mind, 3 ways. So he sees it one way, backs up, sees it another way, sees it another way. And that adds a lot of depth and insight for someone writing songs about relationships. Music is about relationships, astrology is about relationships. That's a useful place for the mind to be, to make it effective, to share it with others. That's focus on that. Okay, so let's Go ahead. Like, the dates are defined where the turning points are. What's happening? You have to imagine. You have to work with. We've already got a time perspective on it with the natal chart. You get a sense of the character and the timing of the Saturn transit. You see the practical things going on, and this is his inner attitude with it. And sometimes the inner attitude is going against what's happening outwardly, or seems to go in the opposite direction. Here, they're all seemingly moving in a similar direction. And when we look at his Venus just goes direct all his whole life. It doesn't know retrogrades, just starts in Capricorn, goes into Aquarius. In 2011, it conjuncted Mars. By 2018, it was conjuncting the Sun. So this is his music tour. This is his studying the astrology. It goes into the 6th house. 2022, it's conjuncting the Mercury. And 2028, it's opposing the Saturn. So that's the same time when Mercury goes direct. So then it goes up, but by 2041, it's on the descendant and moving forward. It's still working through skills and talents and improving things and being of service and being useful while Venus is there and being appreciated for being useful. So using his music, feeling talented around that and using that to get appreciation for others would really reinforce his deep Venus wanting to get respect and wanting to be appreciated.